Every single night, my friend disappeared for exactly 1 hour. Not 2 hours, not 30 minutes, exactly 1 hour. At first, nobody really noticed. We all assumed he was just watching videos, scrolling social media, or answering emails. You know, normal things people do at night. But after a few months, something strange started to happen. Little things began to change in his life. Nothing dramatic at first, just small details. He bought a brand new monitor, then a better microphone. A few weeks later, he upgraded his computer. And one day, during dinner, he casually mentioned something that sounded completely absurd. He said his computer had started working for him, not the other way around. We laughed. Of course we did, because that sentence made no sense. Computers don't work for people. People work with computers. But he didn't laugh. He just smiled. And that was the moment I realized something was different. So I asked him a simple question. What exactly are you doing every night? He paused for a second. Then he turned his laptop around and said something I'll never forget. I'm building a system. Not a business. Not a startup. Not an app. A system. At first, I thought he was exaggerating. But when he showed me a screen, I realized he wasn't joking at all. There were dozens of video scripts on the screen, automatically generated. Lines of text written by artificial intelligence. Then he showed me another window. Audio files. Dozens of them. AI voices narrating those scripts. Then another tab. Videos being assembled automatically. Images, clips, subtitles, all connected together. And finally, the last part, a publishing system. Video scheduled and ready to go online. Automatically. It looked almost like a machine. Not a physical machine. A digital one. A system that could produce content almost every day, without him manually doing every step. That's when I started realizing what was happening. My friend wasn't just creating content. He had built a workflow, a chain of tools connected together. Artificial intelligence writing, automation tools organizing, software assembling the final product. And suddenly something clicked in my mind, because what he was building wasn't just a content system. It was something much bigger. It was a digital engine, an engine that could run continuously, an engine that didn't sleep, an engine that could produce value every day. And here's the crazy part. Just a few years ago, building something like this required an entire team, writers, editors, designers, developers, marketers. But now, one person, one laptop, and the right tools. That was enough to build a system powered by artificial intelligence. And that's when I realized something important. Most people are still using AI like a tool. They open it, ask a question, get an answer, close it. But a small group of people are doing something very different. They are building systems. Systems where artificial intelligence works in the background, writing, creating, automating, producing, while they focus on improving the strategy. And once you see that difference, you start to understand something. We're not just entering the age of AI tools. We're entering the age of AI systems. And the people who learn to build those systems early may have one of the biggest advantages of the next decade. When I saw what my friend had built, I started asking more questions, because the system on his computer looked impressive. But at the same time, it didn't look impossible. There was no giant server, no expensive infrastructure, no team of engineers, just a laptop and a collection of tools connected together. So I asked him the most obvious question. How did you build this? He opened one of the dashboards on his screen. It looked like a map, boxes connected with lines, each box performing a different task. And that's when he explained something that most people still don't understand about artificial intelligence. AI by itself is powerful, but AI connected to automation is a completely different level. Because once you connect tools together, something interesting happens. You stop thinking in tasks, and you start thinking in systems. Instead of writing a script manually, an AI model generates the script. Instead of recording the voice yourself, An AI voice engine narrates the text. Instead of editing video clips one by one, a template automatically assembles the video. And instead of uploading everything manually, an automation platform publishes the final result, step by step, one action triggering the next, almost like a digital assembly line. This is exactly what automation platforms like N8N are designed to do. They allow you to connect different tools and create workflows. Workflows where information moves automatically from one step to the next. For example, an idea becomes a script. The script becomes a voice narration. The narration becomes a video. The video gets published online. And the entire process can run again the next day, and the next, and the next. But what makes this even more interesting is not the technology itself. It's what this technology allows people to do. Because suddenly, a single person can build something that used to require an entire production team. Think about that for a second. Just 10 years ago, creating daily video content required cameras, editors, writers, and producers. Today, a creator can design a workflow once and let the system handle most of the heavy work. Of course, this doesn't mean everything becomes effortless. You still need ideas. You still need strategy. You still need creativity. But the production engine becomes automated, and that changes the entire game. Because while most people are still thinking about working harder, a growing number of entrepreneurs are thinking about building smarter systems. Systems that operate continuously. Systems that generate output every day. Systems that grow over time. When my friend finished explaining everything, I finally understood what he meant when he said his computer was working for him. He didn't mean the computer was magically making money. What he meant was much more interesting. He had designed a machine, a digital machine, one that could create, publish, and distribute content at scale. And that machine was powered by artificial intelligence. But the story doesn't end there, because building the system was only the first step. The real question was, what happens after the system starts running? And the answer to that question is where things get really interesting. Because once content starts flowing continuously into the internet, something else begins to happen. Attention, viewers, traffic, and sometimes opportunity. A few weeks after seeing my friend's system, I asked him another question, one that most people would probably ask first. Does it actually work? He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he opened another window on his computer. It was a dashboard, analytics, views, subscribers, traffic coming from different parts of the world. At first, the numbers were small, just a few viewers here and there. Nothing impressive. But then he scrolled down and showed me something interesting, a graph, and that graph told a story. In the beginning, the line was almost flat, very little activity. But slowly, over time, the line started to rise, not in a dramatic spike, but in a steady curve, because something important was happening in the background. Every piece of content the system created became another door on the internet, another opportunity to be discovered, another chance for someone to click, watch, and subscribe. And when you repeat that process enough times, small numbers start to compound. One video becomes 10, 10 become 50, 50 become hundreds, and each of those pieces of content continues working long after it's published. That's one of the most interesting things about digital systems. Unlike traditional work, where your effort stops producing value the moment you stop working, a well-designed digital system can continue operating for years, producing traffic, attracting viewers, creating opportunities. But of course, the real question many people ask is this: where does the money come from? And the answer is not as simple as people think, because these systems are not just about advertising revenue. Yes, platforms like YouTube can generate income through ads, but that is only one piece of the puzzle. Traffic itself is valuable because traffic creates attention, and attention creates opportunity. Some creators monetize through digital products. Others build consulting businesses. Some launch software tools. Others sell courses or communities. The system itself becomes a foundation, a way to attract an audience interested in a specific topic. In this case, artificial intelligence, automation, and the future of digital work. When you look at it from that perspective, something interesting becomes clear. The system is not the business. The system is the engine that feeds a business. And once that engine starts running, you can build many different things on top of it. That's why so many entrepreneurs are now experimenting with AI-powered workflows. Not because artificial intelligence is a magic button, but because it allows people to design systems at scale, systems that operate continuously, systems that expand their reach every day. Of course, not every system succeeds. Some ideas fail. Some strategies don't work. But the people who are learning how to build these digital engines today are gaining something incredibly valuable: experience, understanding, and a deep knowledge of how this new technological ecosystem works. Because artificial intelligence is not just another tool. It's a new layer of infrastructure for the internet. And the people who learn how to combine AI with automation will likely shape the next generation of digital businesses. Which brings us back to the strange habit my friend had every night. That 1 hour he spent building his system. At the time, it looked like a small experiment, just someone exploring new technology. But now it's clear that something bigger was happening. He wasn't just learning how to use artificial intelligence. He was learning how to build systems. And in a world where automation and AI are becoming more powerful every day, the people who understand systems may have the biggest advantage of all. So the real question is not whether artificial intelligence will transform the internet. That transformation has already begun. The real question is this: who will learn to build the systems that power the future?